too? It was. It must have shut it. It must have turned itself off.
I know.
You gotta look on there.
standing for the playing of our national anthem. Please be seated. Good afternoon. Right from the beginning, we had to change that a little bit, didn't we? First, I just want to say thank you very much for your patience and putting today to get together. One of the things that we can't control, unfortunately, is the weather. So I do appreciate everybody's patience as we had to set this back to 3 o'clock. Welcome. It is both my honor and privilege to welcome you to the 2020 York Central School District commencement ceremony. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank some individuals who have been instrumental in putting today together. First, I would like to thank Hardy and Blaine Van Rye for their time. Oh, yes. For their time and limitless energy in putting all of this together for our seniors. Next, I would like to thank the senior class advisors, Mrs. Julie Stagnito and Mrs. Amy Picciano. I know this is not the senior year that they were hoping for, and it was not the ending, but their constant effort and energy and love of the students did make a big difference in the lives of these seniors, so thank you very much. Finally, I'd like to recognize and thank Mrs. Lindsay Pete and Mrs. Jean Williams. Your tireless efforts to stay connected with all of the students and staff, your work to ensure that everything that could possibly be done was done for all of the students during this time. And of course, for the daily episodes of A Night Between Two Ferns, what would we ever do without the bad joke of the day? And for all the others who have stepped up during these times to make a difference in the lives of our students, we deeply appreciate it and cannot thank you enough. And to the families in the class of 2020, you're finally here. For some of you, it came too quickly. For others, maybe a little too slow. But for all of us, it was not what we imagined the end of the journey to be. But it is times like these, when you're faced with obstacles and adversity, that you can learn much about yourself and those around you. For years, these students have taken care of each other, celebrated their goals and accomplishments, and supported each other in times of need. When tragedy struck earlier this year, these seniors stepped up and were examples for all students to follow. They showed character, strength, and perseverance that we would want all Golden Knights to possess and demonstrate. Recently, I came across a quote that reminded me of these young men and women that we are here celebrating today. Every challenge that we face is the opportunity to become more than we have been. And that truly exemplifies the young men and women here today. These seniors have faced many obstacles in their time here, especially in the final half year of their high school career. But much of this is like life itself. When life presents you with adversity, you must do the best you can, be flexible to adjust to the changes that are needed, and stay true to your core beliefs. You have done this. When faced with challenges, you didn't shrink. You stood up, stood together, and didn't waver. You stayed true to yourselves and to who you are as both individuals and as a group. Because of this, the mark that you are leaving on YCS will be felt for many years to come. You have been friends to and role models for many students during your time here, and you will be missed by students and staff alike. As you wonder what the future has in store for you, and we all know that it can be scary and uncertain, I'd like to leave you with a quote and some thoughts. Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Remember everything you have faced, all the battles you have won, and all of the fears that you have overcome. Congratulations and best of luck. I know that you will all be very successful on whatever path that you choose, because I have seen the path that you have already blazed. And now, Mrs. Pete.
Good afternoon, families, special guests, and the York Central School class of 2020. It is an honor to have you all here together, back on our Golden Knight campus today. The YCS class of 2020 is not new to making history and leaving their mark. Their academic, athletic, musical, theatrical talents are second to none. They're Odyssey of the Mind champions, and of course this is the class that won Spirit Week as juniors and seniors. We all have a lot to learn within the walls of school, but equally important are the lessons that we can learn from each other beyond those walls. You see, this class, the YCS class of 2020, has taught me a very important lesson over the past year. When life doesn't follow your plan and it presents challenges, you respond with grit and you respond with grace. You look to your support system, you lean on your friends, your family, your community, you ask for help, and you keep showing up. You never give up on the goal, but you adapt and are flexible in how you meet that goal. As a class and as individuals, you were faced with hurdle after hurdle, events that you couldn't control. Not once did I hear any one of you complain. You gave kindness to yourself and to others, even when things were really hard, and that is admirable. That is something that I will treasure about the class of 2020. I watched you support each other and the adults around you through the loss of a beloved teacher, and then later through a pandemic. You picked each other up, offered a hug, a smile, and a laugh. There will be a day when you look back on all of these moments that led to this, and you realize that in so many ways, the challenges of 2020 were only a stepping stone to reach the heights that you will reach. You will think earnestly about how you have collectively lived within a difficult time, and how in doing so, you learned to pick each other up when you could not do it alone. You will recollect how all those around you who showed their love, your families who are here and those that are joining us virtually, will continue to cheer you on and keep you focused on your future. Your teachers and your advisors, the Van Rys, your school community, myself. We are here for you now and always. I thank you for leading with grit and with grace and leaving that lesson and legacy here at YCS. Carry that legacy and share it as you embark on your next chapter. I thank you, seniors, for showing us all the meaning of family and community and how strong those roots can be. You make me proud to be a Golden Knight. At this time, it is my honor to introduce our Class of 2020 salutatorian, Shane Bryan.
Ladies, gentlemen, parents, friends, and faculty, good afternoon. Today, we celebrate the graduation of York Central's class of 2020. It is an honor to be standing here speaking to a class that will be remembered for years to come. We might always be remembered as the class who missed their senior year while wearing masks and fighting over toilet paper, but we made it nevertheless. And before I get too far into this, I would like to thank the faculty here for everything they've done this year. These have been challenging times, but the faculty here at York faced those challenges head on and made our senior year truly memorable, with everything from parades to pizza. And we truly, truly appreciate it. But now, high school is over. We are finally entering the world as adults. We are independent individuals who are free to do, well, whatever we want, really. And that's great. As kids, we all dreamed of this day. But now that we're here, it can be a little bit scary. What do we even do with the rest of our lives? And that's a question that we've all thought about to some extent. Some of us thought about it, and we knew right away what we'd want to be doing with the rest of our lives. And some of us are sitting here, and we're still not really sure. But that's okay. I was watching a talk show with Neil deGrasse Tyson one time, and he said a quote. Now this quote really resonated with me, and I don't think I'll ever forget it for the rest of my life. The quote was, "Be ashamed to die before you have won some victory for humanity." Now at first this quote may seem intimidating to some. What does it mean, a victory for humanity? Well, it doesn't mean that you have to go out and cure cancer or bring about world peace. No, a victory for humanity means that the world is better off for having had you in it. And I think that's great, because no matter what path you go down in life, no matter what you decide to do, there will always be an opportunity to make the world a better place. Now, I know it sounds cliche, and we've been hearing cliches like this our entire lives. As kids, we heard things like, we all have the ability to change the world, and we are all able to achieve great things. Well, I'm here today to tell you that all of those cliches are true. We can change the world, and we can achieve great things. We can all win a victory for humanity. And to the people behind me, I'll say this. You're all in control of your lives now, and I hope that you never forget what you are truly capable of. Thank you.
Shane. It is my pleasure to introduce the Class of 2020 valedictorian, Charlessa Cristiano.
To my classmates of 2020, everything we need to know to have the good life is right here in these 6 movies. So let's get started. Probably the most confident statement ever, I am Iron Man. In the movie Iron Man, we see Tony Stark have an arrogant attitude, be super brilliant, and actually use these personality traits to save the world. We learn through Tony's journey to be unapologetically ourselves. Mariah Spock, you are Iron Man. Through years of track, I watched you use your aggressive desire for perfection make you a great and worthy competitor in the ring. You never apologized for your channeled frustration, your focus on perfection, or finally, all that it took to take sectionals at indoor track. So, you remind us, like Iron Man, that whether we are aggressive, fearless to a fault, or have a take-no-prisoners attitude, that being unapologetically ourselves can lead to great outcomes. Thank you. Next lesson. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. We all know it's Dory, and it's Finding Nemo. Dory encourages Marlin to just keep swimming. We have to keep going. Even if we don't know what's next, or if our latest endeavor will end in success, we keep going because we must know that eventually we will find what we're looking for. So, Rachel Schofield, you've taught me to just keep swimming. If y'all have ever been to one of York's art shows and you've looked for and found the blue ribbon, like I know we all do, then you've seen Rachel's masterpieces. I remember one time I was just finished up with a piece in Mrs. Murray's class and something was off. So I looked at Rachel and said, "Hey Rachel, something's off with this art piece I got going on." She looked at it for a split second and said, "Oh yeah, you're not using your foreground space." I said, "Oh yeah," and ran off and looked it up. Thank you for always helping me better myself. Your willingness to help me keep swimming teaches us all that whether it's art or really anything, if we just keep going, we will get there. Now, you're really going to want to pay attention to this next lesson. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while. You could miss it. Who said it? Ferris Bueller. And he wasn't wrong, and neither is Gideon Rowley. I mean, there were a lot of things Ferris should have been doing, and those responsibilities did get handled. But we watched him take a moment, have a good time, and teach us not to take it all too seriously. Gideon, thank you for teaching us all to stop, laugh, and have a good time. I mostly remember Gideon for this because during my short time in Odyssey, all I wanted to do was win. We needed to be efficient. Practices needed to be on schedule, and Gideon was not serious enough. But you know, I have a million stories of funny things that Gideon said. He taught me to laugh, all the way to second place. And thanks to you, the fun didn't pass me by. But yeah, second place. It's okay. I'm still kind of learning this one. I don't know if any of us made it through childhood without hearing this next one. You're killing me, Smalls. It's Sandlot. From this movie, we learned that we should have someone we can count on, even if they're killing us, in a good way. We aren't meant to go through this life alone. I think quarantine has taught us that. The importance of friendship and being able to count on others is important. Ashley Logston. You were always that partner I could count on to share the load of those crazy Spanish projects. You always did exactly what you said you'd do. You did your half of the notes, did your part of the posters, and you were a fantastic study partner. Whoever gets you as a lab partner at Norwich University is going to be so lucky. We should all find an Ashley. Someone who will stand out in center field and catch whatever we throw their way. Next. Goonies never say die. From, yep, Goonies. The lesson here is that we must have a never say die attitude. We don't give up or get discouraged. Dylan Wallace. You have the best never say die attitude, and you've taught me to have one too. Thank you. There are so many times that life gets hard. The mountains seem unmovable, but you reminded me just about every day, especially in study hall, that it would be okay and to never say die. We should all have people in our lives who never let us give up when the test is hard. They are how we stay grounded and regain focus. Just ask Data, Mikey, Chunk, or maybe even One-Eyed Willie. Last movie, you can't handle the truth. And I couldn't handle the truth. Well, we have to hear the truth and we have to handle it too. A Few Good Men teaches us that. We have to be willing to hear, yeah, you look fat in those jeans, or he's really not that into you. Hearing the truth can hurt and maybe damage our ego just a little. But if we don't have at least one person in our lives to tell us the truth, aren't we destined to eventually fail? And now, I'm still a little scarred about the truth here, but I'm better for it. I learned that pulling my weight matters, and some people won't let me get away with not pulling it. Thank you, Josh Van Alstyne. Now that we're graduating, I think I can share this. Some of us seniors had this food locker. You'd contribute like soda, snacks, etc. to the locker, and then you'd have access to everything everybody else pitched in. Josh was the gatekeeper and kept order. Only if you contributed your fair share did you get the combination. Well, with a plea and a bag of chips, I was in. But then I kept forgetting more contributions or cash donations. But I kept taking the snacks and I hid from Josh. When he found me, he told me I was out unless I pulled my weight. I didn't want to hear the truth, but I knew he was right. He kept me straight and I brought the chips again. We are better versions of ourselves when we invest in others and accept others' investment in us. And so, the brief lesson is, we are who we are. Don't apologize for it, use it. If we just keep swimming, we are destined to improve. We must enjoy life's moments or they'll pass us by. We have to find someone we can count on to share life's load. We were not meant to be alone. A never say die attitude can change our perspective, and hearing and handling the truth can surely improve us. I know there are so many of you who have greatly contributed to my life in many more ways than the examples I've provided. I want to specifically thank my own personal Eleanor Roosevelt for running it all behind the scenes. Thanks, Mom. And to my best friends, Devin Donnelly and Melanie Fowler, y'all are every movie. And finally, dear Governor Cuomo, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice half of our school year to COVID-19 for whatever it was that went wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us have a graduation telling us who you think we are. You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is lucky enough to have known Mr. Bizdu, had an OM team who would have gone to Worlds 7 times, had a unique and memorable drive-through senior banquet, a principal and staff who never stopped working for us, and a community who did everything possible to celebrate our senior year. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, the York Class of 2020.
I did not know about the food locker. Thank you, Lessa. Now I would like to introduce the Class of 2020 commencement speaker, Mr. Tyler Fuller. Tyler graduated from York in 2014. After graduation, Tyler attended Hobart and William Smith Colleges, where he majored in biochemistry and Spanish and Hispanic studies. During his time at Hobart, he studied abroad in Seville, Spain, for a semester. Tyler is currently a third-year medical student at SUNY Upstate Medical University. He plans to pursue a career in rural family medicine. I welcome to the stage Mr. Tyler Fuller.
Hi everyone, how you doing? These are gonna fall by Promise you that. I've been watching him wobble every time someone gets on stage. I'm going to go off cuff a little bit to start, which anyone who knows me should be a little bit nervous. I'd first like to start by saying I didn't know that I knew as many seniors here as we did, but I recognize my water boy from when I was in my glory days playing football here, Ethan Durant, who has a fuller beard than I have currently. I got a few cousins up here, like step third cousins or something, Riley and Jillian. And also I've seen some of my friend's brothers, Jack Erie here, twice the size that I remember him last time I saw him. There's also this person who I haven't seen in a couple of years. His name's Timmy LaGeorge. He used to be on the playground with us when I was in middle school playing like kickball and stuff. And one of my friends would always call him Timmy, and we always used to laugh hysterically at that. Then I also see two kids that I used to ride the bus with all the time, Hunter and Mariah Spuck. And if you know them, you know that when I was riding the bus with them, when they were in like second grade and I was in like 7th or 8th, they were wild. And I'm sure they're still probably wild, but you know what? They're great kids. First off, those two speeches were awesome. I wish I could have given that good of a speech when I graduated. Movie references are a little outdated. 3 of them I'd never heard of, like what's Goonies? I never watched that. I don't even think you guys were born for most of those. Even Finding Nemo, I think, came out before you guys were born. But I'd like to thank Ms. Stagnito for asking me to speak today, and additionally I'd like to thank Ms. Pete for helping with this as well. The school's in great hands, and I look forward to seeing what happens over the next coming years. I was told to keep this speech short and sweet, and it's kind of hot out here, so I'm going to keep it under an hour. I'll try to keep it under that hour, but when they start flashing the teleprompter, I'll start wrapping things up. And I wasn't going to talk about this one subject, but last night I had a dream, and my sister actually had a similar dream the night before about the same person, which is kind of creepy, and that's Mr. Bizdu. And it would have been his 64th birthday today. And when I found that out, I found that out when I opened up Facebook this morning, and I don't normally believe in signs or whatever, but like there is no way he was going to let me not talk about him today. I know him too well. He was telling me, he's like, you got to say something. And I was trying to think of some inspirational quotes he said, and I know there have been some, but I couldn't think of any. All I could think about the silly things he said, like when you called him Bizdu, and he'd reply, Mr. Bizdu, Sir Bizdu, King Bizdu, Dr. Bizdu. But he's in our hearts, and I would take a moment of silence for him, but I don't think he's ever had a moment of silence in his life. And he's a man that we will treasure in our hearts forever. 2020, what a year that has been. COVID, I guess we were supposed to have World War III or something. That never panned out. But what a year. I mean, seriously, what the? Like, oh, man. So I'd like to congratulate the class of 2020's teachers who have been able to get rid of these guys once and for all, and we'll never have to deal with them again, especially once I came in here and saw who they were. I was like, okay, they're definitely ready to get them out of here. And when I found out I was supposed to speak today, I asked, do I know anyone in this class? And my sister, I was like, besides the weird dude with the mullet, which I was trying to narrow down to Riley Stella, but it really doesn't narrow it down once I saw a few people come in. And he's my cousin, so I'm allowed to make fun of him, but like third step cousin, so there's no blood relation. Don't worry. And whenever I have to give a speech, I end up Googling how to give a speech, even though I sure as hell know I'm not going to listen to any of the advice I read online. And having said that, I am going to start it out with a quote, even though I've started like 5 minutes ago. But I read this the other day, and I think it helps clarify what I'm going to try to explain today. And this is a quote from a book called Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. And it says, every person is defined by the communities they belong to and the ones they don't belong to. You all may have lived in this little bubble at YCS, which you don't think's a bubble until you go 10 miles any other way. But York has done a great job at preparing you for what's left to come. However, they could not prepare you for how liberal colleges are compared to the town of York. Although some teachers have tried, Miss Ivers. But having said that, college is about learning new things. You're all 18 years old right now, maybe 19, maybe 17, 20 if you've been here a while. But you are in no way done defining yourself. You're not done acquiring knowledge, and you're not done growing. Well, scientifically speaking, most of you are physically done growing, but that's beyond the point. So I'd like to give another quote that I learned in my Spanish class that stuck with me. It's from a Puerto Rican song by Ismael Rivera. I'm sure you're all familiar. And it goes something like this. Suelten al chivo de la campana. Pretty inspiring, right? Well, you're probably curious what it means in English. And it literally translates to release the goat from the bell. Also inspiring. But the translation's not helpful in the slightest, because I guess there's some true meaning to it that means to let out a secret, I guess, similarly to releasing a goat from the confines of a bell. But that's what I'm going to do. Nonetheless, I'm going to let you in on a few hidden secrets of surviving your future that you should know about. If you're off to college, great. If not, that's also good. These 5 secrets will reveal the ways to survive life, whether you're going to college, whether you're going to workforce, or whether you're going to live in your parents' basement for the next couple of years. 1, learn every day. Whether you're in a sociology class at college, watching a Tiger King documentary on Netflix, or gutting a deer, learn something new every day. 2, don't be afraid to change your opinion when you're presented with new evidence. If I had a nickel for every time I said, oh, you're actually right, and change my opinion, I may have 3 or 4 nickels. Just kidding. But listen, don't argue a point if you don't know why you believe it. Sometimes you may believe something, but if you don't know why you believe that, spend some time. Figure out why you have that belief. And if your answer is that's how I was raised, then you're going to need some more evidence. While blame it all on my roots, I showed up in boots, is what I say when I'm the only one in the hospital walking through with a white coat and cowboy boots on. Your kid is not the sole reason for your belief. Challenge yourself before you can challenge others. 3, put in the hard work now so you can be happy later. Or as Tom Haverford from Parks and Recreation would say, sometimes you got to work a little so you can ball a lot. Now, this can have many different meanings to many different people. For me, it meant continuing my education for 12 additional years after college. You know, and for me, balling a lot means walking into my future family practice, hopefully over here in this new plaza that Ken McNimmy owns. Again, I can pick on him, step cut, and something like that, no blood relation. But I'll be walking into my practice, cowboy boots up to my knees, helping the people I love the most. But for you, it may look like something different. For my neighbor, James Hargrove, that looks like going to school to become a vet tech so he can be a veterinarian. And he wants to do that because he loves helping animals. And his family's all in the health field, so why not? You know, and I saw that some of you are pursuing welding at the Arc and Flame Center. That's awesome. Do that too. But take some time now, figure out what makes you happy, put in the effort so you can ball out later in life. 4, use support when needed. I've lost too many people in my life to suicide to not touch on this point. Reach out if you need help to friends, to family, to your teachers, or especially your doctors. Most of the time, the only person that knows they're struggling is themselves. Anxiety, depression, it doesn't matter. The strongest people you see aren't the ones that are strong all the time. They have a place where they can be weak. I'm in med school. I have a therapist. It's not a big deal. It makes me a better person. It makes me strong. Mentally, obviously, although I am physically strong as well. And additionally, it's a person in my life when I'm growing out my beard in the winter. She always says, you know, whether it's legally obligated or not, she always tells me it looks nice. So it's good to hear. But listen, look at yourself, look after yourself, look at your friends, look after your friends. You're about to enter an exciting but very difficult chapter in your life. And finally, number 5, strive for perfection. Atul Gawande once said to his fellow physicians, no matter what measures are taken, doctors will sometimes falter. And it isn't reasonable to ask that we achieve perfection. What is reasonable is to ask that we never cease to aim for it. Now, this quote's regarding medicine, but it can be applied to anything, school or work. Don't expect perfection out of yourself, or else you're gonna build yourself up to fail. But never cease to strive for it. With every little thing you do, try to do it the best that you can. You're all about to enter an amazing chapter in your life. College is where you finally get adult freedom, but without adult responsibility. And that's a fun time. But this is going to be tough too. So don't forget these 5 secrets. Learn every day. Don't be afraid to change your opinion when presented with new evidence. Ask for help and use support when needed. Strive for protection and for perfection. And work a little now so you can ball out later. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Fuller. At this time, we will recognize recipients of a variety of scholarships and awards. I invite Mrs. Husser to the stage to recognize our recipients. Recipients, when your name is called, please stand to be recognized, and could we hold all applause till the end?
Good afternoon. Please stand when I call your name. Victoria Bianchi, the Director's Award for Chorus, Frank Mastari Memorial Award, the John Philip Sousa Band Award, York Central School Music Drama Award. Shane Bryan, Stanley and Lucille Burton Writing Award, Civic Pride Scholarship, Donald and Gladys Heath Memorial Fund, York Central School Music Drama Award. Charlessa Cristiano, Civic Pride Scholarship, Dar Good Citizens, Donald and Gladys Heath Memorial Fund, Anthony M. Lariton Junior Achievement Award, Lawrence H. Smith Award in English, John Philip Sousa Award. Joshua Davis, Frank Amaris Scholarship. Ethan Doran, Buddy Dacey York Football Scholarship, Barry Delaney Memorial Achievement. Luna Freeman, Deborah Young Vocal Music Award, York Central School Music Drama Award. John Geary, Class of 1949 Scholarship Award, Director's Award for Band, the Radici Family Scholarship, Lawrence H. Smith Award in Math, York Central School Music Drama Award. Connor Herring, Celeste S. Wirtz Memorial Award. McKenna Klinkbiel, Geneseo Masonic Lodge 214 Bosey Senior Award. The Cora W. Starr Scholarship Award. Ariana Kuhn, the National School Choral Award, Jim Vitale Memorial Scholarship, the York Central School Music Drama Award. Harley Kuhn, the Al and Betty Parnell Scholarship. Timothy LaGeorge, the Lawrence H. Smith Award in Athletics. Catherine Lee, Courtney Jones Memorial Scholarship Fund, the Louis Armstrong Award. Ashley Logsden, the Vance Geiger Memorial Scholarship. Benjamin Linus, the Louis and Dolores Skura York Lester Kiwanis Memorial Scholarship. Lucas Maggio, the Bobby Holbrook Jr. Scholarship Award. Mackenzie Mistretta, the Louis Armstrong Award and the Red Cross Scholarship. Daniel Mullen, the Bruce Johnson Memorial Award. Daniel Nichols, the American Legion of Livingston County Award. The Dennis Gary Bizdu Award. The Carol F. Nagel Memorial Scholarship. The Nathan Pascuzzo Memorial Award, and the York Teachers Association Scholarship. Jaden Richardson, the Lawrence H. Smith Award in Athletics. Jacob Robbins, the Sheriff Richard A. Kane and Patricia R. Kane Memorial Award. Gideon Rowley, the James A. Cooney Award, the Marvin Schimmel Outstanding Student Award. Rachel Schofield, the Lauren P. Kellogg Jr. Memorial Award. Megan Seeley, the Instrumental Music Performance Award, and the William J. Mistretta Memorial Scholarship. Hunter Spuck, the Mike Bubel Leadership Award. Riley Stella, the Robert M. Grant Memorial Award. Amber Treadwell, the Anthony Giglio Humanitarian Award. Joshua Van Alstyne, the Lawrence H. Smith Award in Science. Dylan Wallace, the York YTA Hilfiker Memorial Award. Emily Wolfanger, the Dennis Gary Bizdu Award. The Bruce Johnson Memorial Award, the Kurt Kingsley Memorial Scholarship, and the Second Language Study Award. Congratulations to all of our recipients.
At this time, we will begin our presentations of diplomas. I ask Mrs. Hoffman to assist. Our first row can come down. Lead the way, Thomas. You can do it. Thomas Andrews. Andrew J. Beardsley. Victoria Elizabeth May Bianchi. Alexis Burnett. Sophie Sigelski Chadwick. Shane Patrick Bryan. Charlessa Danielle Cristiano. Jacob Ming Chen. Ty Jacob Cunningham. Joshua Matthew Davis. Devin Michael Donnelly. Ethan Christopher Duran. Jason Alex Dykstra. Melanie Fowler. Oh, you got it. Luna Freeman. Lucas Robert Garza. John Arthur Geary. Evan Ryan Green. James Hargrove. Go slow. Delilah Jean Harkness. Connor Herring. McKenna L. Klinkbelt. Ariana Nicole Kuhn. Harley Mayakota Kuhn. Timothy LaGeorge. Klein William Laney. Catherine Anna Lee. Emily Leone. Ashley Logston. Benjamin William Clyde Linus. Ooh, you got it. Lucas Maggio. Morgan Delise Major. Joshua McCowan. Jillian Elizabeth McNimmy. Mackenzie A. Mistretta. Daniel J. Mullen V. Nathan S. Myers. Daniel Nichols. Uh-huh. Just gonna wait. Come on. Good catch. Put it. We can wait. It's okay. Yep. Avery C. Parker. Emma Elizabeth Pratt. You're good. Jaden Lee Richardson. Jacob Thomas Robbins. Trevor Michael Rossborough. Mackenzie Caitlin Routley. Gideon Chase Rowley. Rachel Schofield. Megan Seeley. Hunter Spuck. Mariah Spuck. Riley Joseph Stella. Amber Elizabeth Treadwell. Joshua Van Alstyne. Dylan James Wallace. Emily Jo Wolfanger. Joel A. Yasso. Families and the class of 2020, please stand for the playing of our alma mater. And thank you, Mr. Kelly and Mrs. Goodman, for putting that together for us. Would the class of 2020 remain standing? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to present to you the York Central School graduating class of 2020. Graduates, reach for your tassels and move them to the left side of your cap. Thank you, families.